Thank you.
You have to put a sticky note on it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay, so on page 8, it's going to show you, it's going to read STKPWHR, all on one line. Okay? So I'm just going to say left hand, and when I say left hand, all your 4 fingers are going to go in that crack. Okay? So here we go. Okay? Left hand, and it's hard to get all 4 fingers. It's hard to get all of those letters to show up. Okay? So try your best. Here we go. Left hand, left hand, left hand, left hand. 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 Okay? Left hand, left hand, left hand, left hand. Are you comfortable here? Your machine is a little high. We just all right. To me, it looks a little high. You see how your arm is down? Your hands are up. You know, I mean, if your hands are up higher, I can just see it from here, and it looks high to me. Okay? Yes. Okay. Make it comfortable, like you're right. Okay. And that might be, make it to where it like sits right on your lap. Yeah. Bring it closer to you. There you go. Get closer to you. Yeah. So your arms, you don't feel any stretching around. Okay. Okay, let's go again. Okay, I'm just going to say left hand. Okay, left hand, left hand. You might want to lower yours a little bit. Looks a little high. You can see, I can see your arms. You can't see them, but your arms are parallel. Your arms are up like this. If your arm's not parallel and it's up like this, say it's higher than your machine. It's up. See, my arm's not parallel. Parallel means straight out. Okay. Don't let it go up. Okay? It goes down. Okay? Has to be parallel to the ground. Okay. So let's do it again. Here, left hand, left hand, left hand, left hand. Left hand, left hand, left hand, left hand. Yours might be 2 up. Okay? And the reason I say that is because you're way down here and your arms are not parallel. Okay? So it needs to go higher. Because otherwise you'll back to under right here. Okay? You might use your right to pull a little bit forward. Okay? You kind of have it parallel. Like arms of extension. They just go out. Okay? Okay. Let's do the right hand. Okay, what I mean by the right hand, where it says FR, PB, LGTS, I want you to hit those. Okay? I'm going to say right hand. Okay? Ready? Right hand, all in the crack. Right hand, right hand, right hand, right here. Right hand, all that, those 2 banks. Right hand, right hand, right hand, right hand. Right hand, right hand, right hand, right hand. Right hand, right hand, right hand, right hand. All of those letters. Right hand, right hand, right hand, right hand. Right hand, right hand, right hand, right hand. Okay, how'd y'all do? Okay, now remember I talked to y'all about home position, and you got to write this a whole bunch. In fact, you'll write it every lesson, probably after every letter that you're going to be doing, okay? It looks really strange, and it's at the very bottom of page 8. And what it is all of the banks, all 4 banks together. You will learn in the future that that's going to be the court. Okay, so it's all 4 banks together. It's also going to be called home position. So when we say home position, what we mean is you're going to hit all those keys together. Everything, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to say home position. And when I say home position, all 4 banks go down. Okay, ready? Home position, home position, home position, home position. Home position, home position, home position, home position. It's all banks. Home position, it's all 4 banks. Home position, home position, home position. Home position, home position, home position, home position.
Just double check and make sure that all of the keys are registering on your screen. So that way you know you hit all the keys. Double check and see which ones you're missing. and try to make sure you move your fingers to accommodate for those strokes that you're missing out.
Okay? Here we go again. Home position, home position, home position, home position. 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 How'd y'all do? Okay. This is not for you to really learn anything today. It's to kind of get an overview, okay? So, just to kind of feel, what does that keyboard feel like? Okay. Okay, so that's what it's about today. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. All right, now I'm going to get the top of page 9. We just did those banks, so I'm going to be at the bottom of page 9. More practice. Okay, so what it wants you to do when you're practicing at home, it wants you to read from left to right. Let me go to the bottom of page 9 so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it wants you to read from left to right. Okay, so you're going to go S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, and then you're going to go to the next line there. Okay, so when you're practicing, it wants you to read it like that. Oh, you can't really see it. Okay, so it basically wants you to practice from left to right when you read this on their in their manual, okay? So don't go down. When I was teaching you the keys, I was going down. Go across. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're going to go this way. You're going to read across that way. Okay, then you go to the second line. You're going to read across this way. Okay? So let's do that. And when we first did this, remember we were just doing one letter at a time. So now it wants you to do the letter twice before you move over. And this is just to kind of get used to your left hand moving. Okay, so let's do this. Here we go. Remember to do it quickly, clearly. Look at the chart, keyboard chart. Try to figure out, try to visualize which finger is going to be hitting that key. Okay? It will eventually fall naturally over your machine. Your fingers will naturally go there, just like on a keyboard on a typewriter. Okay? Right now, it's going to feel kind of weird, but that's okay. Okay. When you do this, then after we do, I'm going to go all the way over here, and then I'm going to say home position. Now, home position, remember, is all 4 banks. Okay? That was the last thing we just did. Okay? So here we go. We're going to start with your, I'm going to move the keyboard so you can see it. Okay. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to go back to home position. Remember, home position is both banks. Okay. So we start with the S. The S is with your pinky. Okay? Here we go. We're going to do the top bank. Top left bank. S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, home position. Home position, you go back and you hit all those 4 banks. All of that and all of that. Okay? Let's do it again. S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, home position. Okay? Do it again. S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, home position. S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, home position. S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, home position. S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, home position. S, S, T, T, P, P, H, H, home position. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of point out to you what this is. You're not going to learn it in this class because you are going to learn this, and this is the number bar. Okay, you're going to learn that how to write numbers, but you're not going to learn this. And that is called an asterisk. Okay, it's not a letter. And the asterisk we use for many reasons, but one of the most important things we do with it, it's our delete key. In other words, you have a backspace on your computer to delete something. That's what we do with that. Either one of them. It's just like the S. See how we have the S here? Because you're going to be able to reach it from both fingers, from both index fingers. But it's not going to be taught in the A to Z. It's something you will learn in theory class. But in case you were just wondering, what is that? That's what it is. It's our erase key. You're going to write perfectly. You're never going to need it in this A to Z. Okay? You're never going to have to learn that. Okay. But I did want to point it out since it's there, and if any of you were just curious, I wanted to point that out. Okay, I'm going to move on to page 10, the top of page 10. We're still, you're going to see a lot of these is going to be very repetitive. They're going to say the same thing in the book. Write quickly, write clearly, and there's a reason for that. Because court reporting is repetitive. You're going to have to do it over and over and over and over and over again until you get it. That's how you're going to learn it, okay? And there's a lot of different ways that you're going to learn in this class. How are you going to learn things? How can you remember? You don't have paper notes, so you can't just print out your notes so that you can just read. But try to read everything you write later on in this program. When you start learning words, try to read your words. Okay? If you read them back, it's going to be easier for you to remember. I always use flashcards. I use flashcards, and I put everything on flashcards. That's how I learned my theory. Because I was able to memorize them. I was able to do that while I was at work. I worked when I went to court reporting school. And so I was able to basically practice without being on a machine. And that was what I needed to do because I worked. So there are different ways that your mind can operate and work without you physically on the machine. Okay.
That helps you learn how to read steno also.
Right. Helps you learn how to read steno.
Because
Yes.
you write something in steno and then write the English word on back maybe, or write the letter. I mean, we're starting off with letters, so you can just write the combination of the letters and then write the letter on the back.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. But this is just an introduction. I know, I don't want to give y'all too much information. Okay, so I'm going to be on the top of page 10. And so the reason I was saying that is because we're fixing to review just what we just learned. That's why. Okay? In other words, we're fixing to go back. If you look at the top of page 10, it's going to be the STPH again. Okay? We've already done that, but we're going to go over it again. Okay, so now you've been introduced to it. So this time when I say STPH, just write the 4 letters down again. See if you can kind of remember, well, where are those STPH? It's right here. Okay, so I'm going to say STPH and write the top left bank. Are there any questions? Okay. STPH, 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 home position. STPH, 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 home position. Home position remembers all banks. STPH is only your left hand that's to move. STPH, 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 home position. STPH, just your left hand. STPH, 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 home position. STPH, all 4. STPH, STPH, all 4 together. STPH, home position. STPH, 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 home position. STPH, 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 home position. STPH, 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 home position. Okay, now look at your screen. Okay? If you don't have all 4 of those letters at the same time, okay, that means one of your fingers was a little weak, maybe. Okay, that means that one, you were not pressing that one long enough, hard enough. Sometimes your ring finger is going to be your hardest finger. You don't have a whole lot of strength in that, okay? But you're going to have to give it as much weight so that it shows up as STPH. So your little display should look just exactly the way the book is. That's the goal. Okay, the goal is to make it accurate and perfect. However long it takes you to do it, to get there, to get it 10 times. Get it 10 times until it's perfect, then you can move on. Okay, you can move on to the next lesson or the next thing. Okay, that's where your practice comes in. Now, on your weekly log, we're not going to collect any homework from you. This is not a college credit course. That's for you. That's for you to say, hey, I'm not getting this, you know. Are you putting your practice hours in? Are you skipping out, you know? Because practice at this level, and if you can stick with it and even come to class just once a week, and you do that, and you actually do that, and you come to all 8, okay, that's going to be huge on you, huge. I mean, unless you had a really, if you think, oh, I ain't going to go to class, because I did that when I was in college. I ain't going to go to class, I'm going to go watch my soap, okay? Well, you know, who was it hurting? Me. In court reporting and theory, theory moves so fast, okay? You're only going to learn it once. Do not miss theory classes, okay? If you miss any class while you're learning the theory of court reporting, you make that class up online, okay? Because it is the foundation of everything. So, and they're not going to wait for you if you miss class. That's your thing. So they're just going to go to the next lesson, the next lesson, the next lesson. So you can't miss theory, okay? All right. Let's do, I'm on the second row here, the SSKW, this. Okay, we're going to go and do the same thing. Here we go. Yes,
Does it know
Jenny?
what theory is?
No. Okay. When I say theory, I'm talking about machine shorthand theory. Okay? Now, this is shorthand. What you're learning is shorthand. Okay? Shorthand. Well, it's like texting. People understand it now because people text. LOL. Okay? You can write on your machine, LOL. It comes out in English, whatever you want it to be. We do that every single day. That's court reporting. So now you can relate because people text. Okay? Well, we've been doing that. So so theory is basic machine shorthand theory. That's the key. Shorthand, machine shorthand. You're doing it by machine and not by hand.
Not Greg.
Not Greg shorthand.
Greg is gone.
Okay, that's gone, okay?
Greg has
People
left the
don't
building.
Greg shorthand anymore. And that used to be that way court reporters wrote. Years ago, they were pen writers. They called them pen writers, okay? They felt threatened by machine writers. They felt threatened because we came on, because someone figured out you could do it on a machine. Someone has now figured out what we used to do on paper, we can put on a computer now. We don't have paper, we don't need paper. It's all computerized now.
But the difference is, Brian, I'm looking right at you, but the difference is there's still a human that's accountable when things go wrong. So, you know, Siri, what are you going to do? Or what if, you know, the judge forgot to press the button on the tape recorder? You will always need a human for the foreseeable future. So
Or if they
don't
ever need a
fear that it
record of
will.
it, if they ever need a record of it,
Exactly.
we're going to need it to be transcribed.
Yes. So it's a very viable profession.
It is. We're living it.
So basically, theory is learning the machine shorthand. That's the first part of court reporting school. And then once you get the theory down, that's when you start just building your speed. And that's the majority of the
That's
time to become a court reporter. You'll be able to pass the state test at 225 words a minute. And you're starting off at 25 words a minute, basically, after theory.
Right. So right now you're not even learning theory. You're not going to learn theory here. You're just going to learn the alphabet. You're just going to learn how to put the alphabet and make some words, but you're not going to learn theory, shorthand theory. You learn shorthand theory when you enroll for a court reporting program. And this is just a pre-introduction to it. This is basically to see if you're going to like it. You'll know, like I told y'all, I was thinking for me, or yeah, I like this. Because if you like it, you're going to have a great career. You're going to love it. I love it, she loves it, she loves it, she loves it. And it's the kind of career that you can go all over the world and do. And it's the kind of career that you can work out of your house. You know all those captions y'all see on TV? All the little captions that you see anytime you're at the airport, you put captions. And you see all those words, guess who does that? Court reporters. One of my friends captions KSAT News here. She knows everything about San Antonio. I don't even watch KSAT News every day. She captions it.
From
She
her
tells
house.
me what's going on.
Probably from her, in her pajamas.
She's at home. Oh, and I didn't tell you, she lives in East Texas. She captions the news in San Antonio but lives in East Texas. Okay? Now, so you can do this. There could be someone from New York captioning our news. Okay? When the rodeo was here, we had captioners. All that's done for the hearing impaired. Okay? So, it's not just working in a courtroom. You can work out of your house. Okay? You can set your schedule. Say, oh, I don't want to work all week. I don't want to work 8 to 5 jobs. I just want to take 1 or 2 depositions a week. That's all I want to do. I want to raise my family. Perfect example. I want to raise my family. I want to be home. I want to go to all their school field trips. You're not working in a courtroom. Okay? You can do that. Very flexible. And it pays very well. Why? Why? Because not everybody can do it. Not everybody's, this is not for everybody. It's a skill. You have to develop it. If you can learn it and develop it and do it fast, you've got it. You've got a job. And another thing I didn't tell you is, you've got a job. Did y'all hear that? My little niece went and got her 4-year degree. Looking for a job. Okay? Looking for a job. How many careers can you get out there, finish this, and say, I've got a job? You've got the job the day you pass that test. It's 100% placement. 100%.
Maybe not at the courthouse, maybe not.
Not at the courthouse, but that's true.
But there's so much work out there right now. I get calls and emails every day from firms I've never worked for, desperately looking for reporters.
So how much money could you make? Well, the average is $50,000, $46,000 starting pay. Okay, that's the average nationwide. That's what you could start making. Okay, you don't need a degree for court reporting. It's not a degree; it's a skill. It's a skill. So,
Doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are.
You
as long
can-
as you
yeah.
put in the time on the machine.
It doesn't matter if you're 60 years old and you think, I'm going to change careers and be a court reporter. You know what? That didn't really matter because they don't really care how old you are as long as you can do that machine. So your age doesn't matter. Okay? Whether you're actually guys are really good, guys for some reason are wired a certain way that they can really pick it up. They just can pick it up very quickly. I don't think I've ever seen a guy in court reporting school that didn't finish. Okay? And I think it's just the way they're wired, the way they think. They don't think like women think. And so guys can just speed through class.
Reporters used to be actually more men.
Yes. This was a male career. It was all males. And then the women came, and then they saw it as a secretary, which you're not, so men started dropping out. All of the old people you're going to see are men. Men court reporters. It was their field. And we came in and they thought we ruined it, but we didn't run it. But they just saw us women get in the career. They saw us as secretaries. Okay, so men didn't want that stigma with them. Yes?
About how many classes does somebody have to take?
Miss Woodard, who will come here over the 8 weeks, will explain all the courses, but there's certain things you have to know in court reporting school, certain classes you must take. Of course, your machine. This theory that we were explaining to you, it's called theory, it's called shorthand theory. That's the foundation for everything, okay? The rest is speed, so you're going to take lots of machine classes. In fact, you're going to take speed classes until you get out. Okay, so that's a given. Now, what else would you need? You're going to need legal terminology, because we hear legal things, and medical terminology in English. Okay, why do you take English? It's not the regular college English that you would take like in college and like English literature. It's a specific English for court reporters, because remember, they don't make sentences. People just talk, and you have to make sense out of what they say. They're not going to talk in sentences. They're even going to make up words. Okay, they're just going to make up words. And so remember, you're just going to write what you hear. So it's actually a specific English class that you take for court reporting to learn how court reporters punctuate things that might not be sentences. You learn grammar. Yes. What else? Is there anything else that you might?
Head nods, head shakes.
Is there anything else that you can think of coursework that they might take?
Course-wise?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't quite
I mean,
listening to all of
English.
the...
What other?
Legal terminology, medical terminology, what are the
Yeah.
classes?
That's English, legal, medical,
There's
and
also
machine.
Courtroom
procedures.
procedures.
Oh, procedures. Okay. They teach you the procedures. What in courtroom? Is there a deposition class maybe?
That would be covered in the internship.
Okay. So that's all. And so, well, how many years is that? The college, I think, is set up in 2 years. They
No,
don't
it's-
teach
it's
every
done.
course every semester. Okay. Are there any more questions? You'll be able to ask questions throughout your entire 8 weeks. Something else will pop up.
So basically, once you learn the theory on the machine, it can take you from that time, like you said, someone passed your state test in a year's time. It can take you a year, it can take you 4 or 5 years, depending on how much time you put in your speed building on your practice time.
Or 10.
Yeah,
Or 10.
some people never pass it.
And-
They
and-
practice for years.
And yet she didn't quit. She
Yeah,
stayed with
that's
it.
right.
It took her 10 years. She got out and did this for about a year and said, this really isn't what I thought it was. She now works at the jail and she loves it, has her bachelor's degree. You just don't know until you get out here.
So it's really up to you how long it's going to take you, bottom line. The more you practice, the easier the machine's going to get and your speed's going to go up. If you don't practice, and you will not be able to become a court reporter if you just come to school. Okay? You're going to have to double the time you put in school on your machine. It's like another job, basically. That's what it is. And remember I told you I had to work? So I did work. I went to school from 8 to 12, and I didn't have to be at work till 4 o'clock, and I worked from 4 to 11. And so I had a window there to practice that I used. And remember I told you you can mentally practice? I wasn't on my machine, but I was learning steno. So I was a cash register at a grocery store, and I just put my flashcards there, and I went through my flashcards in between customers. So that's how I learned it. It's all about being able to read it. Okay? So you can do it. All of you can be court reporters. It's how bad do you want it when you want to come out. Are there any other questions? Okay. All right. So I am at the top of page 10. And we were going to do I think I was going to do the SSKW. Okay. So here we go. I'm not going to go to that page, but you can see it in your notebook. If you need to look at the keyboard, I'm going to leave the keyboard here. Okay? So I'm on that second bracket there. I haven't done that, have I? The SKW? Okay. Here we go. Ready? And it's going to be 2 letters. I mean 2 letters. 1 letter twice. Here we go. S, S, K, K, W, W, R, R, home position. Y'all remember what home position was?
Good.
Okay. Do it again. S, S, K, K, W, W, R, R, home position. That's everything down. S, S, K, K, W, W, R, R, home position. S, S, K, K, W, 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 R, R, home position. S, S, K, K, W, W, R, R, home position. Okay, now let's do all these 4 at one time. Okay? I'm going to say SKWR, but put them all down at the same time. This is just repetition, okay? You've already done this. SKWR, home position. 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 Now let's do the top band right here. Ready? That's with your index finger. Right hand. F, F, P, P, L, L, T, T, home position. F, F, P, P, L, L, T, T, home position. F, F, P, P, L, L, T, T, home position. F, F, P, P, L, L, T, T, home position. F, F, P, P, L, L, T, T, home position. F, F, P, P, L, L, T, T, home position. Now let's do all four. FPLT, home position. All four at the same time. FPLT, home position. 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 FPRT, home position. FPLT, home position. FPLT, home position. FPLT, home position. Okay, let's do the bottom. R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S, home position. Okay, R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S with your finger, home position. R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S, home position. All in the crack. All. R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S, home position. R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S, home position. R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S, home position. All of them. R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S, home position. R, R, B, B, G, G, S, S, home position. Okay, let's do them all at the same time. Look at your keyboard. You're going to learn this. Look at your keyboard when you're learning something new. Okay? Now we're going to do RBGS all at the same time. Okay? Here we go. RBGS, home position. 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 Okay. Now, the reason it's important to look at this keyboard, okay, because you're making a mental impression right now when you learn these letters. Mentally, this is the first time you've seen the keyboard, okay? You're making a mental impression up here where your fingers are automatically going to go there because you've got it up here. Okay, that's hard kind of to explain, but you've got to be able to see it. You have to be able to see the letters without looking at the machine. That's why when you learn it, look at the keyboard. Okay, that's the reason for it. Because once we start learning combinations, it's going to be a lot of material for you. So it's just kind of bringing you to a habit of when you're learning something new. Okay? Because your fingers are automatically going to go there. You're not going to be thinking, oh, where was that? You're not going to be thinking that because automatically you've already trained your brain that that's that finger that's right there. Okay? Okay. Now, let's do home position. I'm down at the very bottom of page 10. And just do home position a few times. Home position is all four bands. Ready? Home position. And just pick them up from there. Home position. Home position. Home position. This is one of the hardest things to write. When your fingers lay on the keyboard, you're just resting. Rest them on home position. Why would you want to do that? Well, you rest them there because you can move up and down. Okay? So you just rest them on home position. Okay? Let's do it again. Home position. 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 Now look at your screens, okay? Home position is probably the hardest thing you're going to write because it's all the keys. And eventually, like I told you, you're going to learn that's the chord, okay? But it's going so fast, not all your fingers are going to hit there. And so that's why it's going to train you from the very, 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 very beginning to try to hit all the keys. So all these keys should come out on both bands. Does anybody have any questions? We're fixing to learn the vowels. And Jessica's not here, but in the last class, she had something really good that I had not heard. We're going to learn the vowels. The vowels are done with the thumbs, okay? And she was talking about if you set your thumbs just naturally, they go diagonally, okay? They sit just diagonally, and that's how she learned to write her vowels, okay? So you're going to see that the A and the O is going to be with your left thumb, and the E and the U and the I is going to be with your right one, okay? So your thumbs naturally hang down. That's why the vowels are low. And so she just said basically to put them diagonally and go like this. Okay? So let's kind of work on our vowels. Vowels, now, when you write the vowels, see how your thumb's kind of fat? Okay? So you got to make sure you only, like when I say A, you only hit A. Okay? When I say O, you only hit O. So, so make sure that when you hit these letters, that your thumb just hits the A. I'm going to say A right now, and I want you just to hit the A. Don't hit the A and the O. Okay, so here we go. I am on page 11. When you're learning the letters, make sure you look at your keyboard. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, here we go. Ready? A, 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 A. O, 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 O. Okay, we're just doing the left hand. Left thumb. Left thumb. A, 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 A. Move it over. O, 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 O. Back to the A. A, 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 A. O, 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 O. Now let's do the right thumb. Okay? Same concept. You're going to hit the E. Okay? E, 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 E. And then move it over to the U. Right hand. U, 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 U. Go back to the E. E, 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 E. Now the U. U, 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 U. Back to the E. E, 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 E. Then the U. U, 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 U. Now let's do both hands, okay? Start with the left. A, O, and then the right hand. E, U. Do it again. A, O, E, U. Again. A, O, E, U. Again. A, O, E, U. How'd y'all do? Okay. Now we write, remember I told you court reporting is all about phonetics. Okay, you have short A's like bat. And then you have a long A like bait.
okay? But you also have sounds like the word boo, okay? It's all phonetics. So, well, how are you going to write boo if it's not an a or an o? Well, in chord reporting, you're going to learn that combination of vowels make different sounds, okay? For example, and I'm on the bottom of page 11. When you write A and O together, you're going to learn that that's a oo sound, like boo, okay? It's a oo. It's not a U, okay? And it's not an A or an O. It's a oo, okay? Or like the word, it also has a different sound, like look. See that okay? That's look, book. Okay, it's not a U. It's a sound, okay? So you're going to...
Double O, these are double O.
Yeah. So like double O's, like look, book, moo. Moo is like M-O-O, okay, but it's A-O. Okay, so we're going to write that. You will learn that in this program. The different oohs and owls and ahs. Because A is used many different ways. Okay? The consonants are always going to be consonants. You know, they sound, but it's your vowels that change a word. Okay? If this was Spanish, it'd be real easy, but it's English. In English, everything's just spelled differently. It sounds differently with the letters. So, we're going to learn the oo sound right now. So I'm going to say oo, but what I want you to write is, just like the crack letters that you learned, you're going to learn the crack here. Okay? Which means that you hit the A and the O together. And when you hit the A and the O together, it's oo. Okay? So I'm going to say oo and just write A-O together. Okay? Here we go. Ooh, that's that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. Okay? Does everybody understand A-O together? Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. I think I said that many times. Here you go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. It's all keys. Ooh, ooh. Here's your thumb. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. Only thing you need is your thumb. Ooh, that's A-O together. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just your thumb. Ooh. Home position. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. So if it was me writing, this is what it looked like. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. Okay, that's all you should leave your thumb. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. Your hand is curved. You're writing with it. It's just like this. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home position. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? One of the things I didn't tell you, but while I'm thinking of it, is we talked about what kind of courses you're going to take to be a court reporter, but we also talked about speed. Well, what kind of speed? You know, what are you talking about? How fast do I have to be? Okay. Well, Texas is one of the toughest states to become a court reporter. That's why we're paid well. Okay. Our standards are like national standards. National, what I mean by that is, a lot of states don't even have any kind of certification at all. When you feel like you're ready, you can go work. Okay? Yeah, it's kind of scary. But states don't have certification. Florida doesn't have one. You can go to Florida. You can move. 180 words a minute, you want to go to Florida, you want to start working, you can do that. There is no certification. None. Florida's not alone. That's a great state. Okay? However, Texas, we are a top-notch state. Ours is just like national. What I mean by that is we have high standards. Our question and answer, we have 3 parts. There's 2 parts to the test. Remember I told you you needed medical, legal, and English? Well, guess what? Why do you need that? The Texas test is just like national, 2 parts. One of them is called a written test. 100 questions on it, I think it is. I think you have to make 70 to pass it. It's written. It's divided into English, medical, legal, court procedures, and there's one more. Jessica's not here, so she would tell us because she just took, that been too long, she's taking the test, okay? That's why. Vocabulary's on it, okay? They'll, in court reporting program, they'll kind of shoot you some mock tests and that kind of thing. So, in Texas, even though you pass that test and take it as soon as you want to take it, you want to take that test and get it out of the way, the written part. As soon as you take your court and procedures or whatever you need, as soon as you take, when you get those classes, go take that test. Because in Texas, you have to take two parts. The second part is your machine. Okay? So, the machine part is what people get stuck on. They'll pass the written, but they can't pass the machine. The machine's in 3 parts. One of them is called, they call it literary, but what it means is solid material. Like reading a newspaper, reading a magazine. There's no question and answer. It's solid material, like a congressional record. And they'll just read and read and read. You do that for only 5 minutes, not 5 hours, 5 minutes, just 5. You have to pass it at 95% accuracy. Not 100, 95. 180 words a minute. Okay? You must pass the 3 parts of the skill test to pass the machine. The second one is called jury charts. Now, a lot of you have never been in a courtroom, hopefully. And by the way, courtrooms are public. You are always welcome to go to a courtroom. You need some inspiration, go to the courthouse. It's public. Okay? They have something called a jury charge. And what that is when the judge, like we're in a jury trial right now, that tomorrow we're going to charge the jury. What that means is the judge is going to read them a document. That is the document that they return their verdict. And so it's called a jury charge. Okay?
It's all the law that they need
Yeah.
to come to their verdict.
Exactly. So it's whatever the jury has to answer. And it starts out like members of the jury. This case is brought upon you, da da da. You know, if you answer question number 1, you know, so that's what they call the jury charge. You must do that at 200 words a minute. Okay? Now the third part is tough on a lot of people. It's called testimony. Well, what do you think we do every single day is testimony? We do testimony if you're in a courtroom or doing depositions, with the exception of captioners. Captioners, I told you, were those that worked out of their home and they do all the captioning. They never write testimony, ever, never. With the exception of captioners, testimony is 225 words a minute at 95% accuracy. You cannot sit for the state test until you pass 2 mocks. They call them mocks, which is all 3 of those. Each one is 5 minutes, 15 minutes of those 3 parts, and you must pass that at 97% accuracy before you can go take that test. Okay? So just to let y'all know, they do allow, I think they allow the National Certification Test, which is the same as Texas. You can take that, it's called the RPR. This is way too much information for you right now. You can actually pass that and sit for the state test if you pass it. So if you can pass, if you can stay in Texas and pass this test, it's a great thing. You cannot work in this state, without it. They won't take a national test. It's one of the few states like that, but that's the way it is, okay? Do you have anything to add?
Just basically what you said about passing the national test. So, like, some people take classes online instead of coming to school, because I think one of the prerequisites to be able to take the state test is either to have your 2 mocks that you would pass in school to be able to go to take, or to pass the national test. So just say if you wanted to practice at home and just practice and learn on your own, which some people do, they just practice at home and practice and get their speed up, and then they can go pass that national test and then be able to take our state test here without having to go to a school here.
And you'll be able to ask questions throughout your, and the entire time you're here. This is why you're here. Because you kind of want to know, is this for me? Is this what I really want to do? You know, so you want to ask all your questions and to see if it is what you really want to do. Because it might not be. But I can tell you, for me, I just do it, and I say, oh, all I gotta do is learn that. But then, you know, I had to learn I was gonna be a band director, and actually I got my degree to be a band director. And so.
And a teacher, she's a teacher.
So, you know, I was gonna be a band director, I had to learn all those instruments. Well, it's just another instrument, just another keyboard to learn. So, anyhow, so when I saw this, it kind of sounded like a piano. I made it sound like a piano, and I loved playing with it. But when I found out they're going to pay me to do this, and when I no longer skipped class when I was in music school to go watch my soaps, because now I was in reality. There were no soaps. This was real. And I was like, oh, they're paying me to be right in the middle of it and listen to it. And I loved it, and still do. But I don't watch TV anymore because it's real, okay? Everything's real.
Mary just had that trial about the funeral home that lost
Oh, yeah, we just did that trial. That was a real interesting trial. And you'll hear great, interesting cases throughout your career. If you're in a court, court's not for everybody. Some people would never want to be in a court, ever. Many of them do not ever want to be in a court, but I love it. Okay, because I like soaps. But that's just, I'll tell you this much, you will have the best seat in the house. When we did that funeral case, the courtroom was packed every single day. It was completely packed. And so, guess who had the best seat in the house besides the judge? I wasn't sitting in the very corner trying to hear what was going on. I was right there. So I had the best seat in the house.
And then when everyone else has to be excused, the court reporter gets to say.
And I will tell you, we had someone that, you know, the House of Representatives in Capitol, the ultimate job would be do y'all know what the President's State of the Union address is? Well, guess what? That's taken down by a court reporter who sits right there. Okay? You not only have to work in a court, you can work at the House of Representatives. You can go work at the Capitol. You can go work at the Senate. And guess what you're going to be doing? Hearing all those, seeing those Nancy Pelosi, hearing all of those people that you see on TV and the President. Okay? That's all done by court reporters. Okay? So we just so happen to have somebody's aunt come to San Antonio College because her niece, who's going to be in this class, she told us what it was like to be the chief of the House. In other words, if you saw the State of the Union address, she was the court reporter sitting in a red dress right in front of the President. We have the best seat in the House. Okay? And that's like the ultimate job. You can do that. If you want to go move to D.C., just another thing you can do. Court reporters. Okay.
The hard part about it is being able to keep a straight face sometimes, since you're supposed to be impartial.
Yes. I got to tell you, though, I'll share this with you with that funeral. Talk about funny. I was working late on that day because we were having to produce that record daily, okay, which means that we take it and we produce it that day. Well, so I just so happened to be there when our maintenance crew came in, and our little cleaning lady, who I just loved, I heard her scream because we had this coffin sitting there. and she kept saying, like, ah, and she it just like gave her the willies. And it was kind of scary because they brought in the coffin the night before. You know, at the end of the day, they brought the coffin. And so the coffin was sitting right there in the corner. She had no idea, and I was over there working on my case, but I heard her scream. And it's just, but anyhow, I thought it was just funny. You never know what you're going to hear. Never. And that is what makes this job, unlike any other job, exciting. Because tomorrow, I'm in a big truck accident case right now. Okay? But we're just going to get another case. Every case is different, so no day is the same. Very few jobs that you do, our job is not what I call routine. It's not the same. And that's what I love about it. Because come Monday, I'm going to try another case. I don't know what it's going to be. It can be anything. It can be a divorce. It can be oil and gas. It can be a medical malpractice. It can be a lawyer malpractice case.
You do hear a lot of the stuff, a lot of car accidents, a lot of even falls, in deposition and what I do. But then you hear just some off-the-wall stuff, different kinds of stuff. In Austin, I've taken proprietary cases on, the manufacturers of the phones and the computers, and that's all very confidential. And then there was a cow that had gotten out of someone's fence one time, And so all the people around, they were trying to decide figure out whose cow it was. So they had done all this DNA testing on the cow. And so, it was crazy. Everyone was saying it wasn't their cow, so, because it caused someone to, have a bad accident.
This is a crazy field because you learn. If you like to learn stuff about everything, I mean, patents, desk, computers, we have computer cases, everything. You'll learn everything. You'll learn murders about how did that person die. You'll have a toxicologist. You just have all kinds of experts. It's a very interesting field. Yes?
I wholeheartedly agree and understand the interesting side, but of course there's going to be some cases that are gruesome and like tug at the heart. So that's who Bob, I said, what do you do in those instances? And he said, either zone out or I'm praying for that person. So what are y'all's tricks or what have you encountered?
Well, one of the best things for me is my back is not to the jury. My back is to the jury. I'm sitting facing the attorneys in the court. The jury is never watching you. Of course they do. They watch everything you do. But they're never watching my face. Because my face faces the judge's courtroom.
That's true. You can look away from the witness. You can be faced any way you want. Because I had a case one time where the daughter had taken her parents out to go tubing, and they ended up, the parents ended up dying out in New Braunfels on that tubing ride. And so she was trying to save him and couldn't. And she had never really talked about it until this day, besides when it happened. And she broke down crying for, 10 minutes. So we had to take a break, and I was crying. And so, it's like you just, you're not supposed to show emotion, but sometimes it's hard.
Sometimes you just do.
One of the times I can remember that I was really crying. Because
you're human. It'll happen. It will happen. It happened to me when I remember a case I tried here right here by the college, 5 Points. A little girl drowned in a car, flood, here, right around the college. It's called 5 Points. She died. We tried that case. It took us about 6 weeks to try the case. And I guess I lost it when the dad, he would just wail. We had to literally excuse him for the courtroom. But when you see a man cry like that, it's very emotional. So that will happen to you. A lot of it, you just, especially in divorce cases, a lot of wives and stuff, will probably, most of it, that doesn't really get me. Because I got used to it. At the beginning it was hard, but you just kind of zone out. I started looking at my machine, and, I can write this better. You just kind of zone out. That's what you do. Okay, we're almost done. We got 10 minutes left, and so, the one thing, I'm at the bottom of page 11, okay? And I'm going to do, remember I showed y'all the ooh, and we're at the I. Remember I told you at the very beginning the I is this? Well, the I kind of like the O and the A, it can have all kinds of sounds. So we have a short I and a long I. And if you look on page 11, you're going to see that the I itself is just the I. Okay, so I'm going to say I, and I want you just to write the EU by itself, okay? Here we go. I, home position. If that's what you're right, just move your thumb. I, home position. Your hands don't even have to move, just your thumb. I, home position. I, home position. There you go. Just your thumb. I, home position. And keep your hands close to the keyboard. Close to the keyboard. That's why you go home position. You don't want your hands up. Keep them as close to the keyboard as you can. Okay? I, home position. Okay, now the long I, and you're going to learn this in this class, but the long I is all the vowels together. So I'm going to say long I and hit all the vowels together. That means the only thing that needs to move is your thumb at the same time. Okay? Here we go. Long I, that's all A-O-U. Long I, home position. Long I, just your thumb, home position. Long I, home position. Long I, home position. Long eye, home position. I'm going to say long eye, just write the long eye. Long eye, 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 long eye. Only your thumbs move. Long eye, 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 long eye. Home position. Long eye. Keep your fingers close to the keyboard. Long eye, 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 long eye. Home position. Okay. The last thing we're going to learn is the very last letter. See that D and the Z? This is kind of hard, but you're going to use it a ton because you're going to have to stretch, okay? Your fingers are just made basically to sit over the FPLT, right? So you're going to have to, when you hit the D, you're going to hit it with your pinky, you're going to have to stretch it, okay? A lot of machines will have what they call a YDZ key, and that's the reason for it, because your pinky is small. Okay? It's easier for some court reporters to write when they have that wide key and they don't have to stretch way over there. So that's kind of difficult. It's not normal, like hands don't, it's not a normal thing that you do there. But for some reason, this machine is built that way. Okay? So let's do that DZ. Okay? When I say D, just write the D. When I say Z, you use your pinky, just write the Z. So you're going to go like this. You're going to go DZ with your pinky only. You're going to go DZ, DZ. So it's like a finger exercise, DZ. And when I say DZ, I'm going to push right, I'm going to point right here. That means you do it together. Okay? Here we go. DZ, DZ, home position. Home position's everything. Okay? DZ, DZ, home position. Now both of them together. DZ, 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 home position. DZ, 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 home position. DZ, home position. DZ, home position. DZ, 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 home position. DZ, 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 home position. Do it again. DZ, DZ, home position. DZ, 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 home position. DZ, 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 home position. Okay, how'd y'all do? Okay, so you have learned the entire keyboard. Just kind of feeling it now? The entire keyboard. This program will take each letter at a time. It has 26 lessons. There's 26 letters. Lesson 1, which you will start next Thursday, it starts on page 13. You can start on your own and start learning this. Start learning your alphabet, okay? There was a couple of people in the last class, they did the entire book. They were just ready to go, okay? You don't have to do that, okay? The important thing is to be accurate, to do it until it's perfect. Try to do it 10 times, okay? You will always start with a review. Page 13, what we just kind of went over a little bit, you're going to review that just a little bit, but you're going to start actually writing, learning the alphabet when you come back. Are there any questions? Okay. Okay, now does everybody have that registration form? Okay, yeah. Okay, that's for you. I need to pick up all of the originals. This is the copies for you, but all of the originals is what I need of the machines. Then we're going to help you take the machines. Do you have the original? Yeah, we're going to have to. Are you? Okay. have any questions, you have my email, you have all of our emails, your registration forms that y'all gave me. Okay? I also want to open up this class to anybody that you might know that you think might be interested in this class. This class is for, we will take 15-year-old. Yes? You can be 15 and take this class. We have several high school students taking this particular class. So if you want your child to come with you, you are welcome to introduce it. It's all about introduction of court reporting. Any of your friends. Now, after we get probably to the second class, we probably won't take any more new people. We got to have a machine for everybody. Okay? Now, let's, first thing, to turn your machine off. When you get done for the day, the first thing you want to do is turn your machine off. And that's the left button on the left. Your screen, LCD display, will go off. Okay? The second thing you want to do is flatten that screen back down. Put it down to where it's flat. The little blue thing, flat. Okay? That's the second thing you want to do. Yeah? When you start it up, that's going to be all gone. Okay? Yeah, just turn it off. It's not going into memory. Okay, the third thing you want to do is you want to unplug it. Okay, yeah, you don't want to have it stuck on there. Unplug the AC adapter. Okay? Wrap it up and put it in your case. Okay? Set your machines up on your desktop. Okay, so they're safe. Okay. Everybody's? Yeah. Okay. Then you can mess with your tripod. Your tripod is very heavy. Okay. So, you got your machine. Everybody know how to get the machine off? You're going to turn it counterclockwise. Your finger's going to be on the lever. Push, either the lever goes forward with your thumb and push the machine and just turn it clockwise. Have it at the same time. Touch that lever, okay, and just turn the machine counterclockwise and it'll come right off. There's a lever that you can put with your thumb and just turn it counterclockwise and it'll go off. Okay, so everybody have their machines off. Okay, the last thing you do is your tripod. Okay, the tripod, okay, you can, get the knob down or put the legs away, okay, unscrew the knob, the neck goes back in and